Your experience as a team player.
Yeah, I think there are several examples. Because one of they're not one, but on several occasions, I had to, put the team together, and necessarily, it's not necessary every time that you get the members of the team of your choice, because the selection committee is elsewhere, and then they think that this is the best team, or they think that's the available team. So you get the team what you have, and it's not necessarily that everybody has a talent that you need in that person, and yet you have a team. Now you are supposed to meet the goals. But I think I always have a fundamental belief that if you estimate somebody to be his ability to contribute, 50 units, I would always think that he has the ability to contribute 100 units. We always work at much lower capacity than what we really can. So if you have that faith, then you focus your energy on how do I convert his 50 units output into 60, 70, 80, 90. Then I will not miss out on, I miss out so and so member, I miss out on, I wish he was in my team. You don't miss out, because what you have, make the best use of that. And to make the best use of that, have faith in the caliber, capacity, and extract more. But when you do that, when you extract more from each person, it consumes tremendous amount of energy out of you. So your individual performance is likely to get affected, because you play secondary role, it takes a back seat about what you're supposed to contribute as an individual performer. So you have to be on the watch that while extracting more performance from others, you don't go below performance level. So that situations have come in, and I think you are required to handle that. You can't have every time the best team of your choice. So I think putting team together, getting that team going, achieving the objective is not once, but I think several times you have to do. Plus, many in today's software industry, probably you also have to many times make and break the groups, because one project is over, some members are available. So whom do you put in the new group? How do you put the best thing together? As a matter of fact, in our company, we have a task force which does this all the time, and they meet almost every alternate day. I mean, that task is so important about team formation, because we deal here with the several technologies. We deal with, let's say, engineering in the instrument, we deal with the software, we deal with the electronics, you deal with the product development, you deal with the database and so on. So you are choosing a lot of different skills from different pools, and because everybody comes from a very different background, everybody comes from different education background, they have not really interacted with each other, nor they understand that what are the pain points for somebody else, and yet you get the project done from them. So what we do is we identify we have a task force. We try and choose these members based on how will they get on well with each other. So that factor plays very, very important role, as much as the skills, as much as the educational background, as much as the past experience. So it's a blend of all that we have to do, and I think this is where we use the team building skills most in our team, about the leadership and team selection, and how to form a new team, how to get members from one team to another team. I think that's the way it is. There is one more challenge that we have in building a team and putting a leader, and that challenge is with respect to what customers expect from you. Now, as you know, different countries that you deal with have different ways of describing that leadership as, and we do it mostly in the Indian context and trying to map ourselves on the global context. But really on the global platform, things are a bit different than what we think. So we have customers who can sometimes see a different skill, or they identify so-and-so leader, or they identify that he's a person who identified as leader, but we don't think he has that quality. So you have to debate with the customers as well why I think he is a good leader and what is the context that I am using, because everybody is not vocal. There are some people who are silent leaders, and sometimes customers from the Western world may not like the silent leaders. Maybe some countries in Europe may prefer a silent leader. So it's a preference and the leadership norms prevalent in the countries of the respective customers that come into the play. That's why we pay this attention to keeping a task force. We also tried several things on self-imposed leadership. That nobody in the team is leader, but everybody thinks he's a leader. And how would they go? And what we observed is it requires a tremendous level of maturity, not just the sportsmanship, not the attitude. That's not enough. But to back up that, there is also need that maturity level, very high level of maturity is required to understand that the way I think that I'm a leader, he also thinks he's a leader, and he's not wrong. You have to tell that. Otherwise, most of the energies are different. I'm a good leader, but he's not, and he's not, and he's not. I'm the only one. So you have to resolve those things and tell people to get this out of it. So this is a very interesting aspect. Many times you talk very openly, consciously about it, and sometimes your gut feel works about who is a good leader, who is a good follower, and who amongst the followers is a good leader again. Because you also observe that in a team, as I mentioned, everybody doesn't take the flag. There are people who are followers, but somebody in that follower acts as a leader because he's pushing everybody by paying a respect to somebody who is walking in the front, but he's pushing everybody, and that's also is required. If you have that, you're a very lucky and good team, I would say. So it's not just about the only leadership, but it's also about the team formation. That aspect is equally important.